Hey, everybody, this is Eric Diamond, and you're listening to The Mike Wagner Show.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosinzia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available on Amazon.
The Mike Wagner Show, also brought to you by The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, available on Amazon, highlighting the Book of David.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosinzia, Missing, available on Amazon, paperback and ebook, coming soon, Missing 2 by Mia Mosinzia, double the suspense, double the fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also brought to you by Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including 30 exquisite paintings, King David Psalms, and more. Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner. Check it out today. And the Sensei Swing, Eric Diamond with All of Me. Check out the new music, ericdiamondmusic.com, YouTube, Spotify, and your favorite podcast platform, and more. We're here with terrific gentleman who's a founding member of the An Amazing Club. We had a member on there last year as an after-school support program, providing support for youth who've been impacted by incarceration, detention, and deportation. This gentleman works as a youth mentor with understanding the impact of incarceration of individuals. He's the son of a man in prison through childhood, a prisoner himself in jail. He received the life sentence at 19, later reversed after 21 years in jail. He has a new book that's featuring poetry, stories, drawings, and more, created by young people affected by incarceration, deportation, more. The book is called Home and Away, Poetry, Stories, and Art. Live, ladies and gentlemen, Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Portland, Oregon. One of the founding team members of the Pathfinder Club and the author of the book, Home and Away, Poetry, Stories, and Art, the multi-talented Vic Trillo Jr. Vic, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, good evening. Might I say that was a beautiful, beautiful introduction. Thank you so much for your wonderful words.
Well, it's great to have you on board, too. You've got some great art yourself as well, too. Talk more about that. You're one of the founding members of the Pathfinder Club as an after-school support program, providing support for youth who've been impacted by incarceration, detention, deportation, and more. You work as a youth mentor with an understanding of impact on incarceration of individuals. And, of course, son of a man in prison through childhood and later becoming a prisoner yourself. You have a new book featuring poetry, stories, drawings, and more, created by young people affected by incarceration, deportation, and offers important lessons on basically belonging and marginalization that expands and touches and breaks and mends your heart. The book is called Home and Away, Poetry, Stories, and Art, along with the follow-up to advice to ninth graders. And before getting on, Vic, tell us how you first got started.
Yeah, this dates back, and as you were saying, with the fact when we first started this wonderful program, it was modeled off a program called Pops the Club, which was founded February 2013 in Venice, California High School by the amazing Amy Friedman and Dennis Danziger. And they found Amy being a wife to a married individual who was incarcerated that had two younger daughters. Amy was tasked with raising the beautiful daughters, and Dennis being a school teacher. Later on, when Amy got her divorce and she met Dennis, there was a common consensus with Dennis being a school teacher and Amy having a background of raising children with their father incarcerated, that there was this deep, deep yearning for a safe space for youth that had been impacted by incarceration. And they founded Pops the Club, which stands for Pain of the Prison System. That was a successful organization. In February of 2023, the Pathfinder Network acquired Pops the Club, and now Pops is a program of the Pathfinder Club. To get a deeper perspective is Amy Friedman and Leticia Longoria, they met at a conference, and Leticia, being the executive director to the Pathfinder Network, was very interested in starting a club out here in Portland, Oregon, for youth that have been impacted by incarceration. And Leticia was very inspired by the model, ultimately, which led to the Pathfinder Network creating its own program modeling off of POPs. And we formulated the Pathfinder Club, which stands for Paving a Trail of Hope. The acronym of the PATH stands for Paving a Trail of Hope. And I was fortunate from the beginning, to sit in and help develop the content and the curriculum and the model for the Pathfinder Club. And I am a founding member along with Leticia Longoria Navarro. And we put our brains together. We have this wonderful place now in 10 different schools around the country, six in Los Angeles, six in Los Angeles, one in New York, and one in LaGrange, Georgia, and three here in Portland, Oregon. So yeah, it's 11 now. Um, and yeah, it's a safe space where students just feel where they could build a sense of community and they don't have to keep that secret. We know that 1 in 14 children are impacted by incarceration. 5 million children are incarcerated by parental incarceration. So having the Pathfinder Club is a place for where that they could feel safe and they could thrive and they don't have to be alone. Yeah.
Okay, and I think that's a really good point as well. And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you do in the rest of your career?
Specifically, as your introduction stated, with me growing up throughout my childhood life, my father was incarcerated, and I remember as a young boy, I just wanted my dad, to go to my baseball games, go to my student teacher conference meetings, just to be with me and hang out. And unfortunately, my father was incarcerated. My mother was trying to do her best. She was a struggling single mother with raising me and my sister Monica, who's 18 months older than me. And at a young age, I felt that I couldn't tell nobody that my dad was incarcerated because when the times I did share that, I felt it would be used against me. Parents didn't want their children hanging out with me because I was a bad kid. My dad was incarcerated. And ultimately, I had this yearning at a very young age is that I want to go to prison to just be just like my father. You know, I didn't have outlets available for me. There wasn't a Pathfinder club available where I can find a community where other students, other youth like me, where I could self express and I can, share my pain and my stigma. I didn't have nothing available, and I took the path to express myself through means of criminal behavior, and something I'm not proud of today.
Hmm. And you also received a life sentence at 19 and later reversed after 21 years in jail. And of course, being at 19, was it a crime? That's something that you did, mistaken, or anything like that? Sometimes getting a life sentence where it's like later on, it's just like, whoops, we made a mistake there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm definitely guilty of my crime. I paid my dues to society. I was recognized by the Secretary of Corrections for exemplary conduct, which in essence mean that I proved that I was worthy of a second chance by the positive programming, by working on myself, becoming a dog trainer, um, starting a youth offender program, helping the young incarcerated individuals coming into the system. I was mentoring them, showing them a better way, showing them how to cope, showing them how to stay out of trouble. And ultimately, I was recognized by the Corrections Department of Corrections Secretary, and my sentence was submitted to the court for a recall sentence. And I was released on November 13th, 2020. That's why I'm so fortunate that I get to do this work, bringing my own personal lived experience, knowing the importance of how I like to see little Vic's and little Monica's, how it was for me growing up, with my dad incarcerated and how I felt. And on the other hand, now I'm actually a program manager and manage these 11 clubs across the country where I get to bring my firsthand lived experience. I know how it is, to have a parent incarcerated, and I get to model and I get to, share with our volunteers and our sponsors and with the youth, and we get to create wonderful stories and art. Like Home and Away. It's our 10th anthology, and it's just packed. It's packed with young souls, young students, young club members, sharing, their struggles, sharing their sadnesses, sharing their happiness, sharing their artwork, sharing their photography with us. And that book is not only for young teens, it's also for adults. It's for anybody who wants to be inspired and know firsthand how it is to have a parent incarcerated.
And of course, there's also some effects as well too, and a lot of good coming out with Vic Trillo Jr. of Home and Away, Poetry, Stories, and Art. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable, customized designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon, paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those who love you to first go missing. It's available on Amazon, paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has got great reviews. An Eva Levin endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Coming soon, Missing 2 by Mia Molson-Zia, double the suspense, double the fun. Check it out on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David, including 30 exquisite paintings and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives a new perspective of David through the Psalms he wrote as the China Shepherd started and complicate yet turbulent relationship with King Saul. Story of love, betrayal, repentance, hope, and more. Check out The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner on Amazon. Keyword, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner. And brought to you by a Sensei Swing, Eric Diamond, with his latest All of Me, featuring new music, the title track, I've Got a New Heartache, Bring Me Sunshine, Strike a Match, and more. Eric's a multi-award winning artist, inducted in numerous Hall of Fames. Entertainer, Album of the Year, will be releasing a new CD soon. Check out the amazing Eric Diamond today, ericdiamondmusic.com. Follow on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and all music platforms today. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show, themikewagnershow.com, 40 podcast platforms, heard in 100 countries. Take us with you on any mobile device. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show on Facebook, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeart, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and more. For great gift ideas, Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast, T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies. Makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Great books, merchandise, and more. And support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. We're here with the founding member of the Pathfinders Club, Victor Trillo Jr., and the book Home and Away, Poetry, Stories, and Art here on the Mike Wagner Show. And before we get to your latest book, you've been involved somehow with advanced advice to ninth graders. And, tell us more about that book from your perspective.
Yeah. Advice to Ninth Graders was our 9th anthology, which was published last year. I was also the program manager during that time and got to co-create, working with our editor from Out of the Woods Press, working with our executive director of the Pathfinder Network, Leticia Longoria Navarro. We really felt that we wanted to publish a book that really spoke to how was it entering high school. So what we did is we developed a lot of prompts that drove the book and its meaning and got advice specifically from high school students that were in our clubs.
Oh, wow.
And, we asked a series of questions about relationships, about teachers, homework, transportation. And that book is also packed with stories of poetry, art. It was just, again, the Pathfinder Club and Popsa Club. It's a space where students that have been impacted by incarceration, deportation, or detention, they can actually come. They could feel that they're not alone. They could build a sense of community. And one thing in our club, it's not mandatory. It's not a requirement to speak. But what we have found is that when you see that you're not alone, that there's others that are enduring the same hardships of having a parent incarcerated, having a family member incarcerated, the prompts, they become natural. That I have seen personally witnessed by facilitating these clubs on a weekly basis. I have seen where the walls and the guards, they get let down because you're in a space where you're feeling seen, you're feeling heard, you're getting fed, that sense of community is building, and you're just sparked with wanting to self-express. And the book Advice to Ninth Graders is full of just advice you know, giving students the opportunity to know how's it going to be when you go to high school. And you're hearing what's unique about it is you get to hear from your fellow peers. They get to hear from their fellow teenagers. And for us adults, again, like I said, these books are for adults as well because it's so insightful. It's so educating for us adults to be able to listen to our youth, to listen to the teens, to be able to hear them speak, you know, and be able to hear their wisdom and get ready to hear their knowledge.
Mhm.
And
And I was going to ask you something too. What are some of the few tips and books you would like to go ahead and share from
yeah,
advice to ninth graders?
so from advice to ninth graders, I think what really stuck out to me in advice to ninth graders is there's pieces in there about transportation. You know, learning how to take a bus. You know, if you got to get up and go to school, you know, learn your local base, your bus route. Having a friend circle, knowing what friends to be around. There's pieces where students are sharing about their relationship with friends, of who they thought were friends, who were not, it turned out to be their friends. And then also there's a piece in there that I really would want to uplift where it's shedding light on teachers. You know, there's commentary written by a young member, a club member, talking about, you know, let's respect our teachers. Our teachers are here to support us and to help us. But it's just filled with multiple beautiful artwork, poetry, self-expression, personal pieces of, you know, hardship of, you know, how it is going to school, but also too, it also speaks to what's going at home. And home in a way, this is an anthology that was designed twofold. Where does youth feel like they're at home? Where does a club member feel they're at home? Yes, it could be inside of the Pathfinder Club, but also it could be somewhere else. And what is it like to be away from home? And I will invite listeners to look at page 20 by Isaac. It's a place called home. And Isaac is sharing a piece how at 13 years old, he is in between his mother and father's divorce. And at that time, he's sharing in his piece that all he wants to do is just find a safe place, find somewhere to go so he doesn't have to go home and deal with the back and forth between what the parents are going through. And he makes a point where he says, TPC is more than a club now. TPC is a safe space, referring to the Pathfinder Club, is a safe space to share or relax for anyone who needs it. It's a family and friends for anyone who feels alone, and it's a place of support and acceptance in any situation. It has given me new skills, new memories, and food when I'm hungry. TPC is a club for youth, and it stands up for that title.
That is so amazing. I think that is really good advice out there for those listening as well too. And this thought came to mind, you know, back in the day before that, groups would come together, sharing their experiences of parents incarcerated. Back a long time ago, that if correct me if I'm wrong, that if a mother or father or both of them go to jail for whatever reason, the child would tend to get into a crime world just to go to prison, just to be with their parents. Was that true today still, and still true in a sense?
Mike, I'm getting chills when you asked me that question. I wanted to share this next piece, and Tyler Stonebreaker, who is 18 years old, has been a part of Pathfinder Club here in Portland, Oregon, for 3 years now. He's getting ready to graduate this year. To that question, I'll let Tyler speak to this. He said, "My greatest achievement is my willingness to change my life to join the Pathfinder Club. Without the Pathfinder Club, I will be dead or in prison. But with the Pathfinder Club, I have gotten so many opportunities. I even began doing interviews to talk about our book, Advice to Ninth Graders. The coolest thing I ever done. I never thought I would be able to do these things like that. And I dream on."
Oh my gosh, that is so amazing. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, I love it as well too. And of course, people in Pathfinders, have their space. Of course, teachers have them problems. It's like, what can teachers do to support? And of course, you hear some of the stigmas, like with hate and everything like that. What can teachers do to put the stigma on it and kind of put a stop to, like, hate speech and, condescending remarks, racism, and bigotry and all that. So, teachers kind of play a part too.
100%. We have some of the best teachers. Shout out to the teachers around the country who are actually sponsors of the club, who allow us to use their classroom, who actually volunteer their time during their lunchtime to host the club. So just at the Pathfinder Network, we honor and value our teachers. And to that end, what I would say to the question you asked me is that knowing 1 in 14 children, 5 million children impacted by parental incarceration. If they're in their classroom and you may think that they're disruptive or they're not listening or they're not paying attention, take a step back to really ask yourself what is going on at home? What is happening in this young teens mind, body? What are they experiencing? And what we have found is just being able to listen. Sometimes, us as adults, we can just listen with our body language. Sometimes we don't need to say nothing. But on the other hand, I have found a simple word, I believe in you. Mike, and I'll tell you, I make that a commitment as being the manager of this wonderful program to get to train our teachers and our volunteers and our sponsors is we teach them how to listen and how to speak to teens. Um, and not to form a judgmental attitude because there is a lot of shame, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of guilt, there's a lot of resentment that's in their young souls of having a parent incarcerated. And through the Pathfinder Club, we're able to listen. We're able to listen. And I think this is why it's so important, for all the listeners, for everyone to see this as a book, not only for youth and not only for teens, but also for as adult, because they're educating us. They're sharing their wisdom, their stories, their powerful experiences with us to give us an introspection into their lives and what they have going on. So yeah, I would definitely uplift that. Our teachers, we value and respect them. And one of the things is just, being able to listen and also being able to validate and letting the students know that you believe in them.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the other things that the parents and teachers can do to combat the problem? You talk about some of the solutions in there, just a few. How about some of the other ways that parents and teachers can do to combat this problem?
Yeah, be becoming educated, becoming aware, really understanding, like, on our new website that we just launched, the pathfinderclub.org. It's a brand new website, and there is so much information, there's so much education as to awareness of knowing the population of those incarcerated, knowing the impacts, and then also hearing some powerful testimonials about what our club has to offer. So to that question, I would say just becoming aware, becoming educated, knowing who's in your classroom, knowing the impacts that they're enduring, but also knowing that there's organizations like the Pathfinder Network that have programs like the Pathfinder Club, that we pave a trail from hurt and harm to hope and healing. And we do that by providing the safe space, providing nourishment for the teens for that they can eat and have a good food and a safe space where they can self-express through art, through poetry, through writing, through photography, through having group discussions, having guest speakers come in and share stories of resilience so that, that they can see that, it is possible to reach your fullest potential, when you do join Pathfinder Club.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, how can we help?
Yeah, I think spreading the word. Definitely, like, thankful to the Mike Wagner show for allowing us this platform to be able to share the amazing work that we're doing around the country. The Pathfinder Club now is a program that, you can reach out to the Pathfinder Network to discuss licensing the program. And I thank you, Mike, for allowing us to be on the show to be able to share the young voices, the young souls that who have been impacted by incarceration, detention, and deportation, to be able to have a true introspection into their lives through our 10th anthology and our Rest 9 anthologies. Our current one is Home and Away, and we're asking everyone to please support, purchase you a copy so that you could become educated and inspired by what our young voices are saying, by the young voices are saying.
Okay, that sounds great. Would you like to read a poem or two from the book?
I certainly would. Thank you for that opportunity. I have a piece, and I will share this with the audience. Again, thank you for your wonderful invitation to your amazing podcast, Mike. And I would like to share a piece called "I Come From," and I'm going to share it first, and then I want to let again because I think education is powerful because this prompt could be done anywhere. Um, how we were able to get construct this piece together. It's from all of our students at the Pathfinder Club here in Portland, Oregon. And I will read what it says and then how we were able to do it.
Okay, go ahead.
I come from the Pathfinder Club of Park Rose High School, Portland, Oregon. I come from households where I'm afraid the people around me may not come home. I come from silent treatment and quiet fights. I come from a family of four. I come from a place where fear will get you killed. I come from a hardworking family with dysfunction and love. I come from a home overlooking the beautiful sunrise that makes me wish every morning that I was in London. I come from a house with unstable conditions and a cherry tree house. I come from the courage and strength of my immigrant abuela. I come from a lot of thinking, 11 siblings with different moms. I come from not knowing when to bite my tongue. I come from fried chicken. I come from fear that made me fierce. I come from a struggling family. I come from people who care. I come from sitting alone at my home. I come from years of wanting to get out. I come from beautiful, strong women who teach me life's lessons while smoking a black and mild. I come from falling asleep to the sounds of fighting parents. I come from having a hard time picking the best product for my curly hair. I come from hard work, love, anger, two worlds, ancestors who sacrificed for me to be here, broken dreams, poverty, struggle, success, Saturday drives with my dad. I come from a crazy state. I come from 2 suitcases, 1 backpack, and 25 cents. I come from Portland, Oregon. I come from not feeling equal. I come from still being judged and despised. We all come from somewhere.
And I think that's really on point as well, too. What's coming up for Victor Trillo Jr. of Home and Away, Poetry, Stories, and Out. We'll find out 1 minute. You're listening to The Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios, brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Missing, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, based on the life of David and more. Amazon.com, keyword Sweet Psalmist Serena Wagner, and the Sensei Swing, Eric Diamond, with all of me, EricDiamondMusic.com. We'll be back with author Victor Trillo Jr. of Home and Away, Poetry, Stories, and Art after this time out.
Hey, everybody, this is Eric Diamond, and you're listening to The Mike Wagner Show.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, I'm Burl Bear, legendary American author, and I'm here to tell you about Missing, the new mystery suspense novel by Mian Mosensia. It's really a good book. Very surprising. Never metaphor I didn't like, especially in this book. Here you have a main character whose life has been filled with despair. His wife died in 9/11. His young daughter died of a rare disease. He's not a happy camper. What does he do for a living? He's a physical fitness trainer. When somebody hardly knows, somebody he's never met, he only has encountered them on an internet chat line, goes missing. This is his journey. He's going to go rescue them. This is his search for redemption, his search for his own personal promised land. He couldn't do anything about the death of his wife, the death of his child, but maybe he could rescue this woman he's never met. That is, if she exists. Missing by Mian Mosensia, international in scope, vastly entertaining, full of surprises. I suggest you get it, either paperback or an electronic edition for your Kindle. Missing by by me and Mohsen Zia.
Hey, everybody, this is Eric Diamond. You're listening to The Mike Wagner Show. You can check out our music and know all about us at www.ericdiamondmusic.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok. You can friend me on Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook, and you can even buy both of my albums off of Facebook. Just get a hold of me on the Facebook Messenger. We have them available in CD or thumb drive. Thank you so much, and hope you have a great day.
The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Serena Wagner's book, The Sweet Psalmist, now available on Amazon. This book includes 30 exquisite paintings by well-known and unknown painters and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives us a new perspective on his life in this book. Through the Psalms he wrote, his time as a shepherd in the field is where the book starts, and it goes on to describe his complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul as well as other events. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. It also offers advice on approaching God and living a life that pleases him. Check out the book, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, now available on Amazon. Keywords, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to the Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with Victor Trillo Jr. of the Pathfinders Club, Home and Away, Poetry, Stories, and Art here on the Mike Wagner Show. Just a few more things, Vic. What else are we expecting 2025 and beyond?
2025, well, I can officially say that our 11th anthology is beginning to start to work its way through the publishing process. We're just beyond excited. I was actually in Los Angeles a few weeks ago working with our wonderful editor, Amy Friedman, and myself and Leticia Longoria Navarro, our executive director of Pathfinder Network. We got to sit with Amy, and we've compiled enough material for 11th anthology throughout our 11 clubs throughout the country. So please be on the lookout. It's untitled at this time. And we have enough material to share voices, poetry, strengths, opportunities, art pieces, photographs with the world this time around next year. And I wanted to speak to, I let the audience know, Mike, that piece I came from, it's a prompt. How we get people engaged is literally, I take with me a jar to the club, and I ask every student, again, this is totally voluntarily, it's optional. I pass out a little strip of piece of paper, and I ask everybody to envision for a second. How did it feel growing up? What were your surroundings? Who was in your life? Who did you want in your life? What types of friends did you have? What type of support you had? So what happens is it walks them through this prompt, and then I ask them to write a few lines where they come from. And that's how we at the Pathfinder Club are able to construct poetry poems with the whole classroom.
All right, that's a really good idea. We'll certainly check that out. And who do you consider biggest influence in the career?
In my career, definitely I have to say, oh, I got a little emotional right now. Leticia Longoria Navarro, who has taken formerly incarcerated 21 years sentence to life, and has given me a second chance, and that hired me, and that believes in me, and that allows me to do this amazing work at the Pathfinder Network on a daily basis, and definitely biggest influencer in my life as it relates to my career.
That's certainly amazing as well. And a big shout out to her. She's a great guest as well. What's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Best advice I'll give to anybody is don't judge. Don't judge a book by its cover. I will say, get to know somebody. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of shame. There's a lot of stigma in this world. And I will say that as adults, we have that responsibility for our younger population to model positive behavior, to model, words of encouragement that we do believe in them. And then also, to provide spaces like we're providing here at the Pathfinder Club, a safe space where students, feel safe, where they can thrive, conquer challenges, reach their fullest potential by being in a setting where it's safe and that they're not alone and that they can self-express. So that's the biggest advice that I would give.
Mm-hmm. And very important to D as well, too. We're here with Vic Trillo Jr., founding team member of the Pathfinders Club and the book Home and Away, Portuguese Stories and Art here on the Mike Wagner Show. Vic and Barry, thank you. Time, you've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or check out the book?
Yes, please, definitely. Please visit our website, outofthewoodspress.com. Please go on there. You can see all our previous anthologies. You can see Home and Away, our 11th anthology, fresh off the press. It was released on April 8th. All proceeds go back into supporting our clubs. We provide supplies. We provide food for every youth. Sometimes it's their only meal. We provide opportunities for them to, engage in the community. We're able to take them to amusement parks, able to take them to the beach. So yes, please go on and support outofthewoodspress.com, or please look at our website, the pathfindernetwork.org, as well as our new the pathfinderclub.org website to learn all about the Pathfinder Club, see videos, inspirational videos of students presenting poems, see wonderful pictures of our clubs, and that is the pathfinderclub.org.
We want everybody to check that out. Once again, Vic and Barry, thanks, time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you soon. Keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love having you back. We wish all best. And Victor, you definitely have a great future ahead.
Thank you so much, Mike.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey, everybody, this is Eric Diamond. You're listening to The Mike Wagner Show. You can check out our music and know all about us at www.ericdiamondmusic.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok. You can friend me on Facebook. You can follow me on Facebook, and you can even buy both of my albums off of Facebook. Just get a hold of me on the Facebook Messenger. We have them available in CD or thumb drive. Thank you so much, and hope you have a great day.
Hi, I'm Burl Bear, legendary American author, and I'm here to tell you about Missing, the new mystery suspense novel by Mian Mosensia. It's really a good book. Very surprising. Never metaphor I didn't like, especially in this book. Here you have a main character whose life has been filled with despair. His wife died in 9/11. His young daughter died of a rare disease. He's not a happy camper. What does he do for a living? He's a physical fitness trainer. When somebody hardly knows, somebody he's never met, he only has encountered them on an internet chat line, goes missing. This is his journey. He's going to go rescue them. This is his search for redemption, his search for his own personal promised land. He couldn't do anything about the death of his wife, the death of his child, but maybe he could rescue this woman he's never met. That is, if she exists. Missing by Mian Mosensia, international in scope, vastly entertaining, full of surprises. I suggest you get it, either paperback or an electronic edition for your Kindle. Missing by Mian Mosensia.
The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Serena Wagner's book, The Sweet Psalmist, now available on Amazon. This book includes 30 exquisite paintings by well-known and unknown painters and King David Psalms. The Sweet Psalmist gives us a new perspective on his life in this book. Through the Psalms he wrote, his time as a shepherd in the field is where the book starts, and it goes on to describe his complicated and turbulent relationship with King Saul as well as other events. It's a story of love, betrayal, repentance, and more. It also offers advice on approaching God and living a life that pleases him. Check out the book, The Sweet Psalmist by Serena Wagner, now available on Amazon. Keywords, Sweet Psalmist, Serena Wagner.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.